Hello, welcome to another Daily Digest video. I'm Merriam. Today I'm playing Blue-Black Control, not a typical combination you see in Modern, but one I think gets a little bit further to being unleashed or unlocked because of the printing of Cast Down. Oof, hard to keep those straight sometimes. Yes, Cast Down, I think, is sort of the two-mana removal spell that Black has been wanting. Previously, you saw things like Doomblade that misses Dark Confidant and Kermeg Angler, a few too many things, or you saw them try to play Go for the Throat, and being a blank against Affinity is pretty rough. Also not killing Inkmoth Nexus against Infect, things like that. But Cast Down really hits everything but Thalia and Tassiger. There aren't a whole lot of Tassigers around. They're usually a singleton in Hollow One and maybe Grixis Shadow. And that's about it. Thalia, yeah, that's a thing, but we also have 4 Fatal Pushes and other removal spells for that. But having such a narrow range of misses, I guess we miss Vendilion Click too, but I think the 2-mana removal spell in Black that has the narrowest range of misses. So a card that I expect to see more play as people start to try it out in different shells, and we'll see if this is one where it works. This hand looks fine. We don't have a lot of real early interaction unless you want to count this Pithing Needle, but Vendilion Click can trade with a creature if we play against a creature deck, can also disrupt our hand, and a couple lands and visions to help us fix our draws. I think this is on the low end of the keep range. I guess I'd be worried about playing against Affinity with this hand, although Needle should help against them. Humans could be rough with this hand. Jace is not very good in that matchup, but I imagine Glimmer is also not great, at least not a card you really want to draw early. Although we'd get to maybe Needle Vial, which is cool. So they kept 7 as well. And we are off. Serum Visions. Okay, Inquisition is some nice disruption. Given that I'm going to play tap land Inquisition next turn and then have a 3-drop, I don't think holding up this Shadow of Doubt makes a lot of sense. Maybe it does. I can only hold up to end step V-click if they don't do anything that I can shadow. Otherwise, I shadow them and get a cantrip. I just think that that's not something I want to play towards. This hand still isn't quite all the way there, so I need to be a little more conservative with that Visions, and not knowing the matchup. Yeah, does this burn? Okay, it is the red-white sort of Norin, Perforos, Genesis Chamber deck. Okay. Well, Norin is a good way for them to start. Usually our Soul Sister is E. They have the Soul Warden, Soul's Attendant, and a Johnny's Pridemate as well. There's a lot going on in this deck. So let's Inquisition them first to see what's going on. There's a chance I want to Needle them here on this turn. If I see something I really need to Needle. Probably not. It'll just inform the Needle for later, or I'll cycle the Needle away with this click. Yeah. As much as I'd like to take the Ranger, which is probably the most powerful card, I think taking Genesis Chamber is also great. I'm blue-black. I don't have good answers to artifacts. And so Genesis Chamber is just going to be a very annoying card to deal with. They have no way to gain life just yet to make this Pridemate better. Ranger will find some, but that we've got time to answer it then. And obviously the Bolt is not that big of a deal. I guess it's good to know about for when we land this Jace, but I imagine they will Bolt this Click, so we'll sort of bait it, and then we'll Jace maybe minus on Pridemate and go from there. That would not be a bad way for this game to play out. And I can click the Ranger of Eos out of their hand. That's probably what I'll do. So yeah, let's take the Genesis Chamber and just play the Tar Pit. And as long as we hit a 4th land in the next 2 draws, I think we're in good shape. Let's bring up their hand. So they have a Mountain and an Abbey as other 2 lands, so I can't really Field of Ruin them off colors. I'll probably end up Field of Ruining that Abbey, or maybe Needling it. And this Norn obviously isn't going to do anything. It's in it whenever any creature attacks, so it cannot attack alone. There. Oh, that is kind of... It's not as good as Genesis Chamber, but it's still annoying. Does this only go, yeah, to each opponent? It's going to make keeping Jace on the table very difficult. Hmm. So now, I'm thinking about what I'm doing with this click. I know I'm not doing anything on my turn, but I want to think now. And given that they have this Tremors, sort of makes me want, and they're not attacking this turn, it makes me want to click myself. Although the Ranger is still troubling. They need to draw land to cast it in the next 2 draws, but I really need to find something to get going, because otherwise this Impact Tremors is just going to kill me. There's not really much I can do about it. So I think I'm going to click myself. I'm still not entirely decided, but let's continue the game, I guess. They might give me free information by playing a different land. They don't. They're just not even playing the Pridemate. Well, sure. Yeah, they are not playing Pridemate. I'm going to get this click down before the Norn comes back so they don't get another trigger. Although, I guess, yeah, I needed to, I guess, click when the first trigger is on the stack. That's actually best, because now they can. Okay, well, I think they're about to screw up this sequence if they're aggressively attacking this mountain. But they should let the click... I guess if I target them, I force them to bolt, which is what they're expecting. But I kind of want to target myself, because I also would just want to draw land. Man. Yeah, I think I want to target myself. I'll find a way to beat the Ranger Vios. Oh yeah, and they're still bolting. Okay, yeah, they should have just let this trigger all resolve, let the Norn come back, and then bolt it, and let the Norn get exiled again. So a little small misstep from my opponent. Let's get this Needle going. Search for Azcanta is kind of interesting. This bolt is not out of their hand. Yeah. Okay, Scarab God is a card that can let me pressure them, which is nice. But right now I just want to find more lands, so we're going to exile the Norn anyway on our own turn. We're going to end up playing the Search, so that's not that big of a deal. So our opponent not getting punished for their missequence. Okay. Well, we found a land at least. And with 4 cards on the graveyard for this Search, so we should be able to flip it pretty quickly. But right now, we're in some trouble. This Impact Tremors is just doing a number on us. See if they have the 4th land here. Looks like they do not, so that's great. So we have some time at least. I'm going to go to 14, so I think I'm going to Jace +2 on our opponent to keep it alive through the Tremors. So we at least get 1 Brainstorm out of it and soak up some damage with it. Oh, jeez. I have not seen this in this deck, but that makes it impossible for me to keep Jace alive. So me playing Jace will exile Norn, they can bring it to 4. On their turn, they can dash in the Berserker, attack it for 3 by pumping the Berserker, and then have the Norn get triggered, come back on end step, and get the 2nd Impact Tremors. So that's a little frustrating. 5th land here would be nice. I guess I can snap Inquisition I guess I would just snap Inquisition the Johnny's Pridemate at this point with the Soul Warden. And that could help keep Jace alive. I would have to hope they don't draw another land to play Ranger. Is this game really just a race to Scarab God where I can start turning the corner? Because I'm losing a lot. I'm already at 11. I think maybe playing the control game here is bad because I don't have a lot of time. So I'm going to put this in the graveyard and try to hit a 5th land. And there it is. I can bring it back with the Scarab God next turn. That's kind of cool. Not sure what I'm going to do with that, but we'll see. Still think I'm going to be a little too far behind, but maybe with Tar Pit and the 2 creatures in my graveyard, I can do just enough. Yep. Oh, and they just gained so much life with this Soul Warden, too. This deck is really annoying to play against. Their deck just does so many little things. And this card is just impossible to answer. He's just... Okay, so they have Champion here. So they Champion over Pride Mated, which is interesting. It doesn't use their mana quite as well. Yeah. Yeah, this dash also deals me a bunch of damage with Impact Tremors. An 8, sure. Yeah, doubt they attack. Now I go to 7. I haven't done the math here on exactly... but I feel like I'm pretty dead. I'm going to let the search trigger resolve first. Yeah, let's put that in the graveyard. Now let's do this on the snap. And yeah, they gain 1,000,000 life. We'll target the IOK to get this Lightning Berserker out of their hand. They're 28. And now I get to scry. We'll scry that to the bottom. And we drew another land. Inquisition U. Believe I know all the cards in their hand. Take the Berserker. And now I can't even really attack. This Champion of the Parish is going to become a 4/4 when Doran comes back, and they get to untap like Pride Maiden, and now it's a 5/5, and I'll be at 5. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, like getting aggressive, I guess, didn't work. Maybe I wasn't supposed to bring back that snap once they played Champion. But this Impact Tremors has just dealt me 1,000,000 damage. I mean, they haven't attacked. It's literally dealt me 14. Okay. Yeah, they draw a tapped land. This can't beat turn 1 Doran, turn 2 Impact Tremors. In 1,000,000 years. Sure. Do I have a main deck Engineered Explosives? I think there's one in the sideboard, yeah. They have Cryptic Command, I knew about that. But, so I need to like Cryptic bounce Impact Tremors and counter it on the way back down? Oh, this isn't a human. Sure, I guess I could have attacked the Scarab God last turn. But I don't think that actually matters at this point. I definitely can't race. So I think what I have to do is try to find a Cryptic Command. So, does that even do anything? Not really. Yeah, Damnation can go to the graveyard. Cast it down. Does that do anything? Nope. Okay, well, there is a cryptic command, so that's a thing. So now when they go to, actually now when they go to cast Ranger here, I can counterbalance the impact tremors and then use Scarab God to rebuy the Vidillion Click and tuck the impact tremors away. Oh yes, that is great. Okay, we might be onto something here now. We found the cryptic. They just play Ranger Revios, please. Oh no! Oh, come on! What do I even do about that? Do I have to counter draw with this cryptic? The thing is, if I counter draw with cryptic, then I have to find another cryptic in what, one card off search, one off snap, or Scarab God, because I have a zombie, and one for turn and one for cryptic. I have to find one of my other cryptics in 4 draws, whereas if I glimmer in response, I can find one of my 2 logic knots or 1 negate, also in 4 draws, and that's a 3-outer instead of a 2-outer, so glimmering is better. Okay. Oh, God. Whew. 3, 2... I was so close. Bottom, bottom. 2 more lands. So now I'm gonna go to 2. Did I misclick or something? No, I had 2 cards on the bottom. Oh man. I guess this gets traded away. Yep. Take 1,000,000. Okay. So I will leave that on top. So close to hitting that logic knot too. Leave that on top. Draw it. And now I have to cryptic, bounce, impact, tremors, tap the team. Otherwise they attack with both and I take 1 from the Soul Warden. But we'll see how this goes. Another Norin the Wary. Yeah, so let's oh jeez. I think this might kill me anyway. Because it's just another creature. Yeah, I was probably dead regardless, as long as they just went to combat. Because if I have to bounce tap their team, or they attack with both, then they just get to play the Ranger post-combat. But I guess I logic not that. And then I have to find another cryptic. But right now, I guess I can counter this Norin, bounce and impact tremors, then logic not, no, because then they attack. So yeah, no matter if I counter this Norin or tap their team with the other mode, I'm taking at least 1 more damage. Okay. Maybe if I had figured out that I needed to race towards Cryptic earlier and not like punched around the Scarab God, it would have been better. I would have like Damnation them at one point to deal with their other creatures. And I might have gotten somewhere. But I don't know. I definitely want to bring in things that can pressure them and gain life. Ratchet Bomb is non-land permanent. In. Flaying Tendrils is... Yeah, it's probably needed if they resolve a Genesis Chamber. This card is good against Genesis Chamber, but bad elsewhere. I think it's probably better than Jace the Mind Sculptor, to be honest. I don't really think that those Jaces are good. Shadow of Doubt does not seem good. Pithing Needle is not good. We got a nice little all-one-of sideboard. How good is the negate? Probably... I can't negate Perforos. I can really only negate the 2-drops. Yeah, it doesn't seem good enough. I have Logic Knots. And... what other card do I cut here? Maybe the V-Click isn't good? Yeah, this doesn't seem very good. Maybe this Ashiok is good. If I ever got like Ashiok there nor in when they have Genesis Chamber, that gets kind of fun. But I don't have the synergies. This seems fine. I do think I have to do a lot of work in terms of breaking up their synergies. Man. Yeah, I don't think I did a great job of figuring out what that game was about early enough. I mean, I knew Impact Tremors was a problem, but I thought maybe I could beat it in a different way as opposed to just digging hard for a Cryptic Command plus another counterspell. Would like to play first. This hand's fine. Early removal spell. Got some card draw. Damnation to keep... just stuff to keep their board in check. We don't have an answer to a Genesis Chamber or Impact Tremors, but there aren't a lot of those in our deck. I wish we had Spell Snare. But we don't. This is upkeep. Tar Pit. And please just anything but Norin the Wary. Relic of Progenitus, I am very happy to see. I will just play the Tar Pit with the plan to opt. Given how reticent they were to play a Johnny's Pride Mate last game without a source of life gain, I don't think they're going to run one out here. But they do have an Impact Tremors. Fortunately, they don't have Norin. This card is not nearly as much of an issue if they don't have a Norin the Wary. Well, they have a Relic of Progenitus in play, so we're going to bottom this Snap. Well, like eventually they'll pop the Relic, and then we'll draw our Snaps and cast them then. So I'm not too worried about it. Okay, that's an interesting one. So let's play this tapped and play a Ratchet Bomb. And now they're in a weird spot where they don't really want to flood the board. Ratchet Bomb is a card that can be really awkward if you draw it when you're already behind, but if you draw it here where I'm like kind of behind, but they have other sticky permanents, now it's hard for them to extend to the board. Okay, that's fine. Lightning Berserker gets me. Yeah, they're just going to pump. Let's put charge counter on this and then F6. I'll just take a bit of damage. Okay. See if they want to pop this relic now. Sure. They just get in the habit. Want to let me know that they know they're going to aggressively use their relic. as you generally should. And the Berserker again. So now, yeah, I'm just going to take this and Glimmer. Maybe I should have deltaed. I probably should have played the Delta to protect this Glimmer, but it's gonna die out to this Relic anyway. I'm gonna put another counter on this and Glimmer. Let's draw some cards. Vision seems fine. Ooh, and a Thoughtseize. Okay. Let's correct this fetch, so when they use their Relic, they didn't aggressively use Relic on their end step there. Let's get an Island. Thoughtseize you. I want to Thoughtseize first to inform the Vision, I think, rather than the other way around. Because I do have some answers in my hand to begin with. Yeah, get rid of this Delta. Another Impact Tremors and a Genesis Chamber. Ugh. Well, I'm going to take the Ranger and try to get them light on creatures. Because I can cast down the Lightning Berserker. And they're not really wanting to play the other 2-drops while I have this Ratchet Bomb in play. So let's take the Ranger and try to find something to threaten them. Sort of what I'm looking for. Definitely don't need this land. Do I want the Fatal Push? No, I don't think I need the push. Let's just bottom both. See if they take this time to really pop the Relic. Oh, I guess not. They're going to really try hard to make Snapcaster bad, but you know the game's going to go long enough. There's the planes we knew about. I just needed one turn. I needed one turn of reprieve from this. I should have. No, yeah, I need to still wait till I've Cryptic Command up. Just one turn without a Norrin, and we would have been fine. But that's not the world we live in. Sure. Down to 8 now. That's a little awkward. So I am going to, in an effort to get this search in play, I'm going to blow this up now. So now I can play search, have that exiled. That'll stress the Relic, hopefully. And I think I have to counter the Impact Tremors as opposed to the Chamber. Counter target spell and draw a card. And we're in a bit of an awkward spot because of this relic. Like, Snap would have helped us deal with these things, but God, everything in this deck just revolves around getting Norin. Let's exile this Ratchet Bomb. 8. That can go to the graveyard. Inquisition. Well, had I been able to bounce this Genesis Chamber, had I drawn the Inquisition the turn before, we might have gotten there. As is, this Inquisition is going to give them another mirror token, but I'm going to cast it anyway. I do have tar pits to sort of hold off these mirrors. And I think we'll see a pop on the relic when they're now, of course, they drew a land. When they're now low on hand size and our search is about to go off, even if they just tap it on their turn. So I think we'll see an end step activation here. Giving them an extra mirror here is a little awkward because they can, still no, because they can attack for 2 and trigger the Norin, and I can only eat 1, and they get that 1 back from the Norin trigger. So they just get a free point of damage here. I'm going to activate. God, I'm so far down on time, too. What do I need to find? Yeah, bounce spell would be good. Let's crack this fetch in response to try to force this relic. So if I transform search, then I'll be able to dig for some stuff. And it looks like they're just really going hard on trying to make Snapcaster bad. This is definitely a point where I would... Okay, and now I probably need to Snapcaster. And that maybe means Snapcasting a Glimmer. Which is an awkward proposition. No, maybe I'm supposed to hold it. Yeah, I think I need to find something and then cast it twice. No, that's fine. It only deals with 1 token, but it's something good to flash back. And dealing with 1 token is actively good because it stops the pressure on my life total. And unlike Damnation, just in order to actually stop the pressure on my life total, I need to be able to activate Tar Pit and block next turn. And I can't Damnation and do that. So it doesn't do a whole lot, but it does something. Ugh. I did not draw a... I have not drawn a... Field of Ruin. Well, we're probably going to have to Damnation here. They're getting 2 more mirrors, yeah, and then they make a token of the Abbey. Ugh. Now I need to find like the Engineer Explosives to deal with the Chamber. And then a Cryptic of some kind, that goes to the graveyard. That's not really going to do it, but, well, Damnation to delay the inevitable. We're able to deal with 2 of the 3 2-drops, but could not deal with the 3rd, and they eventually find an Orin, because we just don't have much of a clock. This isn't even that good, because they still get to make an Abbey token here on the end step, and the Norn comes back making a Genesis Chamber token, so they have 2 1/1s that can attack on their turn. So have such limited answers to Norn Genesis Chamber. Yeah, the fact that... Ooh. Okay, choosing not to do anything. Interesting. They could have gotten a point in. Okay. Snapcaster goes to the graveyard. Island doesn't do a whole lot. This gets them to 4 creatures on end step, so I'll just pass. And I guess if they have like a bolt, no, they don't. So still a turn away from Abbeying me. Now I have 2 blockers. Hmm. 9 mana. There's 1 short of Cryptic plus Snap Cryptic. Yep. And this is basically our last turn to do something. Cast down goes to the graveyard. And Cryptic Command. Well. So, what I can do here is try to bait them into activating Westvale Abbey. And then Crypticing the Ormondal. So I'm going to play a Snapcaster Mage. They have not been fooled. Let's target the Flaying Tendrils. And cast it. Unsurprisingly, they do nothing. But this does continue to buy me time. If I can... Oh, yeah, I guess I should have just, like... Maybe if I did nothing this turn, like, if they, like, make some attack, I can do something, and then try to Cryptic the Genesis Chamber, and then counter it on the way back down, but then they just Ormondal me, probably. And they just needed the other land. Sure. Okay. Yeah, they probably... I'm going to take this, because I think if I can bounce this Genesis Chamber... Maybe into, like, another sweeper. Yeah, I probably did this, like, one... I probably got a little impatient. But this might get me somewhere. This is not a deck I'm very familiar with, so I'm certain I have not done these things optimally. It's a very tricky deck to play against, too, when they get their synergies going. Glimmer is not going to be very good. And I'm 1 short of transforming this. Yes, let's put that in the graveyard. Jeez. Okay. This is non-token though, right? Yeah. So it actually doesn't do a whole lot. But I doubt they activate the Abbey to make Ormadal here, even though I've used a cryptic command. Yeah, there's just no reason to. This does hold them off to some extent and give me time to Glimmer and flip Search. There's no way I win this match. But maybe I can win this game and salvage some dignity. There's just too much going on. What is I'm certain I'm dead. If they're tapping this much mana, I'm dying. Are they just going for Ormadal, actually, because they don't have to sacrifice the Norin? Wow. That's kind of aggressive, to be honest. But it's gonna work. I guess they thought it. I guess they need to be aggressive against the Kalitas. Maybe I shouldn't have played the Kalitas. Oh, they got to replay. They had a land to replay Genesis Chamber. Yeah, maybe playing the Kalitas is the only way I don't just lose. Bottom. Don't think I have anything here. Man, with the EE and the Jace, I might have been able to stabilize. If I just found a Field of Ruin, I think I might have been able to win this game. As is, I am dead. Well, that is a very strange matchup for a control deck to play against. They have a lot, especially blue-black, where they have a 2-mana artifact and a 2-mana enchantment that are central to their game plan. A creature that's almost impossible to kill. They have Perforos, it's also very difficult to kill. Just so many hard-to-answer threats. And then some card advantage from Ranger of Eos, and some threats that can put you under a clock with Champion of the Parish and a Johnny's Pridemate. So a lot of difficult things. I think that's a matchup that would benefit from having more discard spells, which I don't generally think are good in counterspell-based control decks. They're more of a sideboard option for combo decks, but you sort of treat that deck like a combo deck. They're an engine deck. They have an aggro element. Your deck, the blue-black deck, is definitely well built to deal with the aggressive element of Norin nonsense, but the combo element, the engine element of it, is very difficult to answer. And you saw that's what we lost to both times. They just got the engine going through our meager disruption, and without a clock or a way to really answer their threats effectively, just fell too far behind to them both times. Very close to coming back, actually, both times. I think with more experience in such a weird matchup, I'd be better at playing the games and know exactly what I'm trying to do at all times, and probably would have found the right cards a little bit faster, maybe been able to take one of those or both. But that's sort of the point of these videos. I'm playing a deck for the first time, and or at least not maybe exactly the first time, but not a deck I have a ton of experience with, so I'm learning it, and hopefully you learn a lot while watching the mistakes that I make. So hope you enjoyed watching that one, and you can come back and see me on Wednesday. Bye.